Let's go. Strengthen you with that come on through. What? Strengthen you with that push through. Let's go. Strengthen you with that come on through. Strengthen you with that push through. Let's go. Strengthen you. Strengthen you. Come through. We strengthen you. You got it. Push it through. Push it through with that strengthen you.
Hey, what it do? Y'all like my song? Push it through with the strength in you. Hey, what's hood, y'all? Happy Wednesday. We at the hump right now. I'm about to come up, about to come on down, coming to the weekend with the Woe Like Pal. Here you are with your girl Strength in the building on the hottest podcast in the building in the South Colorado Springs. Now we coming with the flavor. Of course, you got your word of the day and a little bit of awareness. Then we're gonna do a little bit of history. We're gonna work it a little bit. Then we got our topic of what's going on. And we're just gonna enjoy life while we have a little fun, but also encourage and support one another with all the things that we do. So, of course, we're coming in with the new word of the day because it's important to learn and grow. Learning don't stop until you dead. So we're gonna keep trying to learn things and grow while we learn. So, okay, here we go.
The word of the day, don't wait, educate. The word of the day, don't wait, educate.
That's our word, y'all. That's the word of the day. What is that? Spatulate, I think. So we're gonna find out what it means together. But I also would love it if you would put your sentences in the comments so I can learn from you because we learning from each other. So let's find out what this word means together because I almost thought it was a spatula, but I realized it ain't a spatula. So we're about to find out what this word means because it's important that we learn every day. Here we go. See, I didn't make this word up. Wednesday, bow, today. Here we go.
Spatulate.
Oh, spatulate. I guess yeah, I said spatulate, but
Spatulate.
spatulate. Okay, so that means having a broad or rounded end. That sounds like a spatula a little bit, except anyway. So in botany or zoology, it is a broad at the apex and tapered at the base. Sounds like a point almost because the apex is the top and then the taper at the base. But anyway, they got a few sentences for us. And again, we're still learning. So please put your sentences in the comment. So spatulate. No, spatulate. That's what it says. Spatulate. To demonstrate a spatulate shape to the class, I showed a baseball bat. Okay, apex and then tapered at the side. Okay, I can see that. Pastels are spatulates, which is why they're good at grinding spices. I've never used one of those, but now I know what it's called. The little thing that they put in the bowl and that they, whatever, they grind the stuff with. Okay, the topical plant is covered in a lot of thick spatulate leaves. Boom. Hit me with your sentence for spatulate. Let's get it. Let's see, my sentence for spatulate. I had a sentence already. I thought this was a spatula, but it's a spatulette. So that's a sentence. But apparently it is it's like a baseball. It is shaped with the apex is round and broad, and then it comes down narrow at the base. So that makes sense. Spatula. Okay, that's my sentence, y'all. Don't judge my sentences. What's your sentence? Let me see what your sentence is. Hey, honey love. I appreciate you tuning in, honey. We learning and growing together. Okay. So let's see if I can come up with one more for spatulette. What is made like that? What else is made like a spatulette? I have a vase that is really big at the top and it comes down narrow like a spatulette. Boom. There you go. So that's your word of the day. Try to use that word at least once or twice and keep it going. The beauty of these words is it don't die. They keep going. So teach them to somebody, reuse them, recycle them, make it a thing. spatulette. So that's your word of the day, honey love. So let's keep it moving.
Let's raise awareness, you see. Why? Because prevention is key.
Whoa. Prevention is the key to break all the cycles. And of course, you already know how I'm coming. I'm coming with the main thing that I deal with, which is stroke. Bow. You got three things right there you need to learn. Track, which is everything to do with diabetes. We're going to talk about that in a second. And then be faster. This is about prevention because when you know better, you can do better. So that's what it's all about. Encouraging one another to be our best selves and to do better because we all need to live a little bit longer. And they said if you do little things and tweak little things in your life, you'll add time to your life. So that's kind of the goal, is to add time to your life. Here we go. So, as I started with stroke, right? Awareness, be faster. That's an acronym to teach you kind of the signs of stroke so you can kind of see if somebody around you is experiencing this and you can help them get through it. So, be faster is going to always be talked about. Keeping track, going to always be talked about. 9, 8, these are things going to always be talked about because, again, when we know better, we can do better. So, be faster. Balance, eyes, face, arm, speech, time for the emergency room. Okay, what does all that mean to you? If you see somebody and you notice they walking fine at 1 minute, they ain't drunk nothing, they ain't smoked nothing, they average sales, and you notice them walking, and then they balance is kind of off. And then you look at them a little bit further and you notice the eyes are shifting all over the place. They can't really focus. Or they just staring at you blank and you can't figure out what's going on. Or they face, it starts to droop for some. What else happens? Your speech. Oh no, your arm, it kind of gets weak and it has no control. It just kind of goes willy-nilly. So that's the A. Then the speech is the S, where they start slurring. They can't really get it out, and this is just not like this person. That means it's time. That's what that T for. That means it's time to hit that emergency room. So don't wait, because every second, I think, if I'm not mistaken, every second you lose 3 million brain cells thanks to stroke. So, of course, we're trying to prevent anybody from being in the same situation we in, because it's not a fun situation to be in. So let me tell you some causes of stroke so you can hopefully prevent it for not only yourself, but people in your family, because education is power, right? So things that cause a stroke are things like abnormal heart rhythm. So if your doctor is telling you like your heart not beating correct, or you notice that it's kind of not beating properly, go and get checked out, especially if you're a male, because I say that because our men don't really like to go to the doctor, and we really need to start doing better with that, guys. So if you're noticing little things, those little things is trying to talk to you. So that is a cause of stroke. I mean, it can cause stroke. So we want you to make sure you keep up with your heart rhythm. Of course, take your medications. That's what caused my stroke. Well, part of it, because I wasn't taking my medicine. I was tired of being somebody guinea pig, and I just didn't understand. So I stopped taking the medicine, and here I am, a stroke survivor at 41 years old. Not exercising. Not exercising can also lead to you possibly having a stroke. So try to get at least 20 minutes in a day. It don't have to be consecutive at one time, because everybody don't have the endurance to do that. But you can break it up in 5 minutes. You can break it up in 2 minutes. You can break it up however you need to break it up. But the goal is to definitely get 20 minutes in, if you can, of exercise a day. And unfortunately, you can have a stroke just breathing. There's a thing that I found recently, and it's called a cryptogenic stroke. So it's not really a real cause. So you can just have one. So my point of saying that is, do your best, do the best you can at doing the best for your body, because just breathing in this world can cause you to have a cryptogenic stroke. It's bullshit, but it is what it is, right? So we got to do better. Diabetes, they lead to stroke. Unfortunately, it leads to other things like amputation and kidney failure and so many other things. But diabetes is one of the main culprits to doing all this stuff. And last but not least, guys, another thing that can cause a stroke is sleep apnea. If you know you have sleep apnea and you have a CPAP, please use your CPAP. I know it's annoying. I know it's extra shit you just don't want to do. But at the end of the day, you need to be here longer for the people who care about you. So I'm hitting you with these facts right now because it's real life and I want you to be here. So do what's necessary for your body. If you snoring all heavy, chances are you probably got a little bit of sleep apnea and you need to find out what's going on. Okay. So that's the whole be faster. That is stroke. That is prevention. That is please do what's necessary. I need you. I need you to be here. So do what's necessary. Okay. Track. Since we were just talking about diabetes, how to prevent diabetes. I wouldn't even say prevent because some people are even born with it because um, maybe the parent wasn't eating good while they was pregnant, or maybe the mom and the dad had that gene in them and it just is what it is. Like both of my parents had high blood pressure in them. And because I was an idiot and didn't really understand none of it, I didn't recognize that I was just at that much more of a higher risk. So for some, you are at a much more higher risk for diabetes. So to prevent them, if you can, they want you to do certain things. So the T is take your medication. You see that it comes in both those things. Take your meds, guys. These doctors went to school for a reason. And I know that they don't know everything because they're just people too. But to at least start doing what they are recommending and then looking for holistic ways afterwards. That's great. But don't just do stuff because you like, I don't want to. Well, none of us want to pay a bill when we get grown, but we got to do what we got to do because we got to eat, we got to have a roof, we got shit to do. So it ain't about what you want sometimes. As an adult, we got to do things we don't want to do. So please take your meds. The R is regular exercise, like we just talked about with stroke. You have to regularly exercise to prevent a lot of these things that's kind of showing up in our communities. And it don't matter the community because they showing up in everybody community. This shit don't discriminate. Let's be clear. So let's not set ourselves up for failure. The A is adding more to what you're already doing. Adding more activity. That's what that A is for. A is for activity. Walking around your block, dancing, singing. Believe it or not, that does stuff for your diaphragm, which activate muscles and it works all kind of things. So it be situations going on, Sugarfoot. Do what's necessary. Okay, the C. Control your ABCs. What's your ABCs? Your A1C, your blood pressure, and your cholesterol. Again, the same things that come with stroke stuff. So the same things that can prevent that can prevent that. So I mean, that's just a regular thing that we should be doing naturally because think about our ancestors. Unfortunately, they picked cotton and they did, if you black, they did all that kind of stuff. But that mean they were really active. So a lot of the stuff that we deal with now, they didn't deal with until they got older because they were already doing things to keep them healthy. So take your meds, regularly exercise, add more activity to your life, check your ABCs, your A1C, blood pressure, your cholesterol. And the K is to kick your smoking habit. I'm not talking about the ganja. I'm not talking about marijuana, whatever you want to call it. But facts have proven that cigarette smoke kills people. So fall back on them squares. Go have you a joint or something. Do something that's natural if you need something. But if you can, fall back, kick the habit. That's what that K is about. Kicking the habit of cigarettes. And then that number that you see on my screen, 988. This is for anybody who feels like they have nobody. This is for anybody who's feeling like depression is taking a hold of me. Depression is a real thing. Mental health is growing, y'all. And I don't know if it's because people with different abilities are growing. I don't know if it's because we're focused on the wrong things like sexuality instead of, acceptance of all people. I can't tell you truly what it is, but I definitely know that the mental health and not only the Black community, but every community is starting to skyrocket. So let's not make people feel less than or ashamed if they need any kind of help because we all need somebody. We all need a little bit of assistance. We all need a little bit of love. So that number 988, call it. If you don't want to talk to nobody, text it. Text the situation. But my point is, don't hold it in to yourself. Therapy, I'm the biggest advocate for it, not just physical therapy, but mental therapy, because again, most adults have the most trauma, but Yeah, most adults have the most trauma because they wasn't taught how to process and deal with emotions, because we grew up in a time where it was, I give your ass something to cry about, all that other stuff that they kind of taught us, so we just don't know how to deal. So please, please, please utilize these things, guys. Learn them and do what's necessary for you, because I want you here just a little bit longer. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, James, we got that strength in you, baby. So, okay, y'all, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving because it's important. Okay. What's your history? Because mine's a mystery. Let's uncover it and try to see. Hey, history. Why is history important on my show? History is important on this show because, again, we've been so segregated all of our lives, where everybody's in their own little corner and everybody had their own little thing. Even with this sexuality now, everybody's straight, gay. What's the other one? Not a pest. I can't even think. Polygamy, and um, it's all, it's seasons out now where you winter and summer, and it's just all kinds of new stuff out here nowadays. And the whole point of this history is if we all just focus on learning from one another, teaching each other's history, we wouldn't be so focused on the differences that's in us, because technically none of us is really that different. We're more alike than we think, but because we've been taught how to only see us and our need versus seeing our people and what they need. And I'm not talking about Black people, I'm just talking about all people, because I technically belong to three communities. I'm Black, I'm a woman, and I'm of a different ability. So, I mean, none of that matters, because at the end of the day, we're all just humans. So we need to learn from each other. But I told y'all I was going to try to start doing more recent history or stuff that's going on now. So I know a lot of people try to stay away from politics and stuff. I kind of don't do politics myself. I just don't. But I do find it interesting of our history that's going on right now, with possibly having a woman as president. I'm actually I'm looking forward to that, because I feel like we've tried all the old people, we've tried Black people. Let's try a woman. Like, let's find out. You just never know, right? You won't know until you try it. So, what's her name? Kamala. Have you said? Hey, girl, Harris, Miss Harris. But I'm proud, number one, that Biden fell back, because, yeah, little baby was getting too old to be out there doing his thing, because he was falling everywhere. He was losing his words. They went to the store and they was like, I'll be back later. It was just all kind of stuff going on with him. So now he gave her the opportunity to be able to try to do this. So I hope that y'all all get out there and y'all vote and do y'all thing, because I'm actually looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. Because I know one thing, I ain't trying to deal with nobody Trump. That's just me. And the only reason why is because he don't respect people. And I think anybody who don't respect people shouldn't be leading people. And that's just how I feel about that part. But that's a great part of history right now. The first like Black lady, she's Black and Southern Asian, and a woman to be vice president, period, in the United States. So that part is pretty awesome. And then we have a Miss Adrian Harris. Who's Adrian Harris? Well, she's a superintendent of New York State Department of Financial Service, and she regulates the state's banking and insurance industries. Black Queen salute. And then we have Miss Angel Rich. Who's Angel Rich? Well, Rich founded the Wealth Factory in 2014 to use the technology and the games to improve financial literacy. Shout out to another queen. Whoop, whoop. And last but not least, Danielle Conley. And then we have Kristen Jackson. These Latham partners, let me tell you what they did. They were named among the best profiles in Diversity Journal of 2014 Black leaders worth watching for their commitment to the public service and advancement of diversity in the workplace. All of this is necessary. They are all queens, and I'm so proud, because unfortunately the world's been led by men, and that's not a problem. Don't get me wrong, because I'm definitely not a sexist, but I definitely feel like we need some balance in this joint. Too much of one side is going to always be one side. You know what I'm saying? So we need a little bit of balance in here. So I'm glad to see my queens rising above. Salute. Okay. And Yeah, salute to my queens. Brain fart. While I'm thinking about it though, so guys, I know you know that we like to send stroke survivors to stroke camp. Why? Because we like to send them places to a place that is just like them, where people cater to them and the activities are adaptable for them. Because in a regular world, you can't go rock climbing, you can't get on a horse, you can't really swim, you can't do these things just at a regular place. But at stroke camp, they made a platform to where volunteers come in and different therapists, and they come and they cater to stroke survivors and their families to not only show them what that love looks like, but to show them what they're capable of despite what they've been through. Because again, we are handicapable, period. So I love if you guys will be able to support. We're doing a GoFundMe because my business still haven't been able to just take off and get what we need yet. Keyword yet. Just like my abilities, it's a yet. It's not what I can't do. It's not yet. But anyway, so please to donate to our stroke camp, you can click this link, the GoFundMe /06232245, where you can donate to strengthen you, and we'll be able to send some people to stroke camp and remind them of the things that they're actually capable of versus what you're incapable of, right? Because the world focus on that part enough. But let's get in tune now, because here comes the fun part. So don't be mad, don't be scared. Do what you can do when you do it, how you do it. But the whole point is to never give in to giving up on you. You matter, you are important, you are necessary, you are needed, you are here. There's a purpose for your pain.
Push through with that strength in you. Get up, what? Get moving. Get up, what? Get moving.
Ow. Okay. Get up, what? Get moving. Okay, let me bring you down a little bit, tad bit. Okay, here we go. We only gonna do a little something. I'm gonna hit it with a few squats. We're gonna do a little arm stuff. But again, I'm trying to get you to move your body. And if it takes accountability in myself to do it with you for us to be able to do this, then it is what it is. So before I even get started with this, to all of my listening viewers, I encourage you with my whole heart to go subscribe and to watch this on YouTube, because then you can actually see how I look doing these exercises, what you're capable of, and just to get the energy. It's a whole different vibe when you can see the person versus when you can just hear the person. But let's get in tune. So, mind you, I've already had OT today, but it's okay because I'm here for you. We're in this together. So first, we're just gonna stretch. Grab your affected arm and you stretch that joint however much you can get it over your head. Do what you can do when you can do it. That's the whole point. If you gotta sit down while you do it, that's okay too. And then we're gonna take that arm, stretch it. Let's go. Remember, we need one another to get through this thing. It's not an easy thing to do. And can't nobody do it the way we do it. Look, I don't know how to stretch this arm except for doing it like this. But again, you do it the way you can do it and you just go with it. So what we're going to do is sets of 10, maybe 2 sets of 10. So now we're going to start with open your legs shoulder width apart, and we're going to go side to side. Keep your core tight because you need your core for everything. So yeah, hold it in, but don't hold your breath. And let's go side to side. We're going to go ahead and go to 20. Just knock them joints out because it's a pretty simple one. Okay? You got this. Push through with that strength in you. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. 4. 5. Yeah. 6. Push it. 7. Keep going. 8. Almost there. 9. 10. Halfway. 11. Don't quit. 12. 13. Yep. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19 and 20. Great job. And guess what? while I'm doing this with you, I got to be ghetto because I didn't do none that I was supposed to do. And we've been over here live, and I never even clicked the live to the Insta. So people only gonna catch half a show, but it's all good. When you're a one hand, one man band, this is what you do when you do how you do. Okay, but anyway, so we just did the 20 side to sides, right? Now we're gonna do standing crunches. Again, keeping your core tight, and we're squeezing 20 times. So 1, 2, squeeze it. 3, 4, be intentional. 5, yep. 6, push it. 7, 8, don't stop. 9, keep going. And 10, halfway. And 11, yeah. 12, what? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Awesome job. Now we're about to hit these squats. I would do some sit to stands, but until I get the room to do what I need to do the way I want to do it, this is what we're going to do. We're going to squat it out, right? We're going to break these squats down into 4 sets. 4 sets of 5. Because again, it's not about how fast you do it. It's just about doing it. Because it's always a reason we don't want to do it, but this is all necessary for us. You got to help your therapist help you. You can't allow them to put in all the work for you. This is your body. This is your life. This is your future you're fighting for. So you got to keep fighting. Let's go. 5, back straight. 4, be intentional. 3, good job. 2, one more. And 1. That's the first 5. Now, because I noticed that I'm cheating, I'm going to put my left leg a little bit further back and put my right leg a little further up. So that way I can force my weight to go through my effective side, because I've been cheating and I've been leaning on the right, and now I will never grow that way. So here we go, our last 3 sets. Let's go. 5. Oh, yeah, I feel the difference. 4. Oh, my ankle. Yeah. 3, push through. 2, strengthen you. And 1, good job. Celebrate yourself, because I don't nobody else do it for you. You celebrate yourself because you can. Here we go. Next set. Keep that burn going. 5. Woo. 4. You know I'm really doing this. 3, push through. 2, one more. And 1. Ah. Oh. Whew. Child, listen. We got 5 more left. Let me walk them out. Cause oh, 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 oh. It's real in the field trying to do the bills with the squat. Okay, no. Okay, remember, you gotta make it fun, because if it ain't fun, it's gonna be depressing. And ain't nobody got time for that. Here's your last 5, and then we're gonna hit something else. I'll let you know in a second. But here you go. Last 5. 5. This unlike any other podcast in the world. 4. We do this together. 3. 2. Let's go. And 1. I'm going to start having a few guests in a little while on my show. We'll see. But you made it. Okay. Now, next thing we're going to do. We did some squats. We did some... Oh, no, we didn't. Because we just stretched our arm and we twisted our body and we did some squats, we're going to raise our arm up. So wherever you can get it. Okay? It is not about how high. It's just about getting that shoulder to loosen up. So you know how I'm doing this? That's what you're going to do. Except it's going to be 1 and 1. We're going to do that 10 times. Okay? We're actually going to break it down into 5 sets. And remember, whatever your left arm decide is going to do when you try to go out, it's okay. Just do the motion and get the brain to do and recognize what you're trying to do. It may not be straight right now, and it may not go as high as you want it to go. It may just barely come off your body. It may do one of them, but that's all okay. Because again, you have to start somewhere. It's not about the start, it's really about the finish. So don't worry about where you start. Just keep starting until you get where you want to finish. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe. And 5. We're going to do that 3 more times. 3 more sets of that. You can do this. Remind yourself, speak words of encouragement into yourself. Remind yourself of your strength and just how much further you've come. That means you're going to go even further in your future. So don't worry about what it looks like now to nobody else, not even to yourself. The goal is just to do it. Let's go. 1, 2. That surgery was everything for me, y'all. 3, 4. Now the goal is not to turn my body. See, you can't tell that my left arm is not going way out to the side. That left arm is not. It's just going right there. So, again, it's not about where I'm starting. You're going to watch my growth. That's why I love doing this live. And I don't like doing all the takes and the bloopers and the edits because I want you to be a part of this journey with me so you can see that there is hope despite how long it took you to reach that point. I'm 10 years post and I'm just now able to do this. I wasn't able to do this last year. So listen, let's go with it. Trust the process. Here we go. Last 2 sets. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. That crack my neck. Rotate it if you need to. Rotate however you need to. Okay, last set. Here we go. Push through with that strength in you, boo. Get up, what? Get moving. Okay. Ain't no what was me. Why not me? 5, 4, 3, 2. See, it got a little higher. And 1. Give yourself a hand clap, a shoulder pat, and know that you did a great job. Here we go, baby. Let's keep it pushing. The next part of my thing. The topic of the day is on the way. Don't hesitate to listen. Listen to the topic. Topic of the day. Yeah. The topic of the day is on its way. Okay. Of course, the topic of the day, guys. I know you saw it. It's like some what's his name? Who wrote all the books? Sam I Am, Green Eggs and Ham. Nope. Dr. Seuss, that person. The topic is just like Dr. Seuss. A button here, a button there, a button everywhere. It's real life out here and it's real in the field. Ain't nobody talking about it, but it is real life. Like we all need accessibility, right? And the more we pretend like it's not real or we act like because we're not in that situation right now is not a factor, that's a problem. And the more that you actually know you need something and you're not speaking up, that's a problem. At first I was like, we should just get automatic doors that see people when they're trying to get in. But then I realized, well, we still need buttons. We still need accessibility into bathrooms. How did I go to the doctor and recognize there's absolutely no button for you to get into the bathroom. I can get in your building, but I can't get into your actual office because there's no button. I can't get into your actual bathroom because there's no button. And then I go to a restaurant that has the little blue what's the thingamajigam or whatchamacallit in the window, the sticker, but there is no button for me to get in the building. And true, I don't necessarily need a button, especially not now because I've gotten stronger, but I wasn't always this strong, especially after stroke. And the elderly is getting older. So that means, unfortunately, they say the older you get, the weaker you get, right? So if that's the truth, then that means the doors get heavier to the elderly. But we're not thinking about the elderly because people are leaving the elderly confined to their homes or leaving people of a different ability confined to their homes. But again, that increases our depression numbers because now somebody's feeling like, number one, they are a burden because anytime they want to do something, you don't have the energy or the time to give this person for them to get outside, or you don't have the courtesy enough to think about this person to just know they need some fresh air. So whether they elderly, whether they are confined, because even being confined to a wheelchair doesn't really confine you to your house unless the world confines you because it's not set up for you. And that's kind of our dilemma. And I'm going to keep talking about it because hopefully the more we talk about this, the more people will be like, that makes sense. And the more people who actually live with these different abilities are like, oh, the biggest advocate for me is me. So I can't expect them to go out and do anything for me unless I'm speaking up for myself. To tell my caregiver, hey, I want to go outside. Hey, I want to do this. I want to go to the store, or telling the ADA compliance people, writing them letters and complaining. I was sitting there and I was thinking, and I was talking to a friend the other day, and I was like, you know, I was so mad at all this stuff. Not that you gay and all that, but how just everything is revolving around them, and how no matter what show you turn on, you got to see some gay shit. And don't get me wrong, I have no problem with people being gay. That's your business. Do your thug thizzle, because at the end of the day, who you doing it with ain't my business anyway. So that's why I don't even know why this thing is at the forefront of our lives, but it is. Every show you turn on, it got to be something. But you don't see people in every show of a different ability, which is why most people don't really know how to respect or accept us fully. They know how to make jokes about us, but to really think that we're capable, they don't. And it's probably because we don't think we're capable. And that's not going to change until we start changing our own mindset. Right now, we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because if you seem too capable, then your benefits, even though it ain't much, but whatever the government decides they're going to give you, that goes away. And then if you do too little, you lazy and you're not doing enough. So then it leaves you confused about how much are you really supposed to be doing? Well, the answer is simple. Do your best, whatever your best looks like. Don't nobody get to tell you what's too much, what's too little, what's no nothing. You know what your best is. And if you truly know in your heart of hearts that you are not doing your best, damn it, do better. Seriously, because the older you get, the more things are going to just deteriorate. So you got to do better. And that even comes with what I just said, advocating for yourself. That's just like going to the doctor, and the doctor want to give you this medicine that you know how it makes your body feel because you've probably had it before with another doctor, but this other doctor didn't look at that record, so they don't really know what's going on, so they're going to just try to give you stuff. Well, you get to advocate for yourself and tell them, like, no, can we switch it and you give me something different because I've tried this medicine and it doesn't work for me. So it's just like when you go to the store and you go inside and you can't get in. Not. I said that's so wrong because you can't go inside and not get in. But you go to the store But then you find yourself standing around looking, how am I going to get in here? There is no button. So now you have to wait for somebody because the door is heavy as hell and you can't hold your cane and open the door because everybody's not balanced that way yet. So now you're like, depression starts kicking a little bit and you want to cry a little bit because you're like, damn, this is embarrassing. I'm just standing out here and people driving past watching me standing out here, but I can't get in this building. So once somebody finally lets you in, instead of going home, maybe do what some of our Caucasian brothers and sisters do. They get on there and they write a letter. They complain so fast. They hit the corporations. They reach out to the stores. They do what they can. And I was just in the Urban Egg the other day, and the same thing happened. Wasn't nobody. And she's like, "Well, we usually keep our doors open." And I'm like, "That's neither here nor there." And I know you don't like. It's not your responsibility. You just work there. So I wrote a little letter out that I asked her to give to her higher ups. But in all actuality, after I just said what I said to you, it made me think about what I need to do. And that's actually reach out to the Urban Ed Corporation and let them know what the needs are. Because again, won't nobody know what our needs is if we don't speak up. We have to be able to say, hey, this is what I need. And whether it is a corporation or family members or a friend or whatever, reach out and say something. That's advocating. Because again, can't nobody help us if we don't help us. This button accessibility is real. And since I'm talking about that, I know I just asked y'all for help with stroke camp. Well, I also need your help with a signature. I need you to sign that petition. We need you. It's change.org. And you can click this link and it's to sign a petition to get accessibility buttons put anywhere where there is accessibility parking. It just makes no sense to have one without the other. And I know I went to Family Dollar and I spoke up about it because there was no button. And this in particular day, my hands was full and I did need that button. So when they finally saw me out there and they came to let me in and I complained and said what I said, I was just like, it makes absolute. How do you have handicap parking but don't have a handicap button? Because there are handicapped people who drive. For me, like me, for instance, and you can't never call me handicapped except at the airport. but even then, I'm the handicapable because I can do things. It just looks different and it's slower. So I need help at the airport because I'm a little slow motion. But that doesn't change what I'm able to do. So those people who are handicapable and they drove themselves to that store, why can't they get in there and shop? Why can't they go down your aisles? It's the little things that make big differences in people's lives to really impact our future and make our foundation stronger. So that way, as a unity of people, we can collectively grow and start accepting, different abilities instead of people staring and wondering. They'll actually treat us like regular old people and they'll ask questions and they'll talk and we'll be able to get in the buildings and it'll just be all kind of stuff going on. So I am urging you, especially if you are of a different ability. You're not disabled. Stop letting the world convince you that you are. You are of a different ability. Every single person in this world has a different ability. I don't care who you are, where you come from, what you look like, who your mama was, who your daddy was, who you voted for, how man or woman, what your breath smell like. Like, I don't give a damn about none of it. At the end of the day, we are all different, which makes our abilities different. So even if, as we talked about, two people been practicing to run the same marathon, they run look different because their abilities are different. If there are twins who are identical and they are born, something about them is different. That's how their parent can tell them apart, whether it is a birthmark, or I don't know, a simple shape of one eyebrow. There are differences in all of us. So we have to start, number one, embracing our difference and stop labeling ourselves, because the world put us in a box already. So you don't have to add yourself to that box because the world said you should add yourself to that box. You get to choose the box you want to be in. And if you want to choose the box of, I'm of a different ability, I'm handicapable with a different ability, then that's the box you choose for yourself. I'm Cynthia Joy, aka Strength, aka Juicy Joy, and I'm handicapable with a different ability, but I don't label myself as none of it, because at the end of the day, I'm a person. And some days I'm an ox. I could do so much more. And then other days, I'm a fish and I just want to slide up out of everything and I'm just over it. So, I mean, every day is going to look different. Everybody is going to look different. And we need literal buttons everywhere, because there are some kids who want to be able to help their parent open a door, but the door is too heavy for the kid. But if that button is there, that kid can press that button and be able to assist their parent. And guess what that does for self-esteem and self-confidence? It's those little things that's not really so little, and you learn what impact it actually has on the person or the child. Because everything, our daily experiences, is what makes us and mold us into the people who we are. So if you are 30 and you've already convinced yourself what you can't do, by 50, you really gonna feel like, I can't do this, I can't do that. And that's usually when people start to deteriorate from the inside out, because you've convinced yourself, I'm too afraid, I can't do it. Stop being scared. You are of a different ability on purpose. This ain't by chance. It's your chance to show what you're made of. It's your chance to pull yourself out. It's your chance to remind yourself of your capabilities. It's your chance to remind yourself of the storm that you've already survived and the flowers that came from that storm that's now preparing you for the storm that you're going through now, that's going to help you get through. And those flowers and those trees, bushes, are going to grow from that storm, and they're going to be so much bigger and greater than the little flowers that came last time. This time, you're going to bear fruit. Last time, you just got the stalks and the leaves and the trees that you needed. So now this time, when you get through this storm, your bush is going to have so much fruit on it. You're going to stay full, which means you'll constantly be able to feed yourself the proper positive nutrients that you need to get through everything and not surrender to life. It's not about you surrendering to life. It's about you embracing the life that you have now and the journey that comes with it, so that you can be strengthened throughout it, and your future is going to be so much brighter because of it. But you got to be open enough and willing to allow life to kind of throw you around a little bit. Not put fear into you. It's to test your limits. What can you do? Can you just roll over and die? Can you just give up every time it happens? Or can you rise above and remind yourself of your capabilities and do what's necessary to reach the next side, the next plateau, the next level? That's literally what it's all about. It's going to come in different ways. It's going to come in different forms, but nevertheless, it's going to come. If you're open to it, to advocating for you, to speaking up and speaking out, and to knowing your strengths, and to knowing your value, and to knowing your worth, and to just knowing what you're still here for. If you haven't quite figured it out, that's because you're not trying enough things. You have to keep trying things until you figure out what feels right in order to know what's for you. Maybe you're supposed to be the biggest advocate. Maybe you're supposed to be the one out here speaking up. Maybe you're supposed to be the politician of a different ability out here reminding the people. Because sometimes I feel like I want to get into politics as much as I don't like it. But I think about it a little bit, a teensy, just a teensy. But My point is, you just never know. But you can never give up. You have to keep trying until you find what's meant for you. And that's how you find that strength in you, that fight that lives in the heart of a survivor. You've been surviving for a long time, ever since you took that first breath. Because remember, we was in water while we was in utero. So when you came out and you took that first breath, you was already a survivor. You cried about it. It hurt your lungs to suck it up, but you did it. You've been processing ever since you took them steps. You've been falling a lot ever since, but you've been taking those steps. That's what the success looks like. That's what this process is going to look like. Steady taking steps. And I'm going to keep taking steps and I'm going to keep taking shots because something going to give. I refuse to give up on me. I refuse to give up on you. I refuse to give up on us. Because again, the world has done enough of that for us that we don't have to do it for them to do it for us, if that makes sense. So you need to always remind yourself of your greatness and you're advocating for yourself in the world, to your doctors, to your family, to anybody who's making you feel away. Advocate for you. A person can't change their behavior if they don't even know it's not a proper behavior. Just like these accessibility buttons. They don't recognize that this is improper. They don't recognize that they're adding to depression. They don't recognize the need. Why? We're not speaking up. We're not speaking out. We're worried about putting sexuality into our schools. We're worried about the schools teaching our kids about this stuff that's irrelevant. How about we teach them how to accept all people? The sex does not matter, nor does the ability. But yet and still, when kids see other kids of different abilities, some point, some stare, some pick, and they make them feel less than because they're not taught what's proper. We have to teach what's proper because we're teaching them what our abilities look like. So if we're throwing in a towel all the time, they're gonna look at us as such, that we give her uppers. And there's no fighting us when we are the biggest fighters. We got potty mouths and we fight for everything. You fight every time you get out that bed and you push yourself to go to work, or you push yourself to actually go to the bathroom and not pee on yourself, or you push yourself to watch your mouth, or you push yourself to go to church, or you push yourself to be a different parent, or you push whatever you're pushing yourself to do. You've been advocating this whole time. But you got to believe in this too. Because your ability don't have nothing to do with you as a person. Your abilities don't have nothing to do with your heart. So don't allow that to be an excuse of why things can't get done, of why you feel like you don't have a voice. Because it's so far from the truth. We got everything. We just got to be able to speak up and say what is about everything. It's so important. It's important that you learn every day. It's important that you raise awareness every day. It's important that you advocate for yourself every day. It's important that you share a little bit of your history every day. It's important that you work out a team sheet every day. All these different parts of this show that you see that goes on and that we're talking about, they are all a part of your everyday life. And if they're not, they should be. Because growth and change is the only thing that's constant in this world. That's it. Change is the only thing that's set in its ways. You know, people be like, you can't teach the old dog new tricks. That's a lie. You can teach anybody who open to learn. You can teach anybody who want to know better. Because again, change is the only thing that's set in its ways. It's going to change whether you want it to or not. Because time is a continual. And you can't do nothing about that cycle. You just here in it. So you better embrace every moment of it because you're here for a purpose. And there's a purpose for your pain. And we got to get out here and start marching and speaking and saying. And although we can't march, some of us, we can roll up. We can pimp, walk with the cane. We can do what we can gimp, however we say it. I know I say I got a gimp, but neither here nor there. We have to speak up for each other. Just how you had white people in the Black Lives Matter whole movement, they wasn't black, but they were speaking up. So just like my able-bodied people, you're not of a different ability in the physical sense, but you're of a ability. And we are too. And we need your help to be able to get a button here, a button there, a button everywhere. Bathrooms, more specifically, buildings, not necessarily clubs, but we do need accessibility clubs that's big enough. But I'm working on some things, so we ain't gonna worry about that. But as far as these stores go out of your way to put automatic doors in and have a button at the bathroom. Don't leave people out here stranded, feeling like they less than and losing out because you didn't think enough of them to put a button in. It's a simple fix, y'all. It's truly a simple fix. Don't give in to giving up on you. Be your biggest advocate. Encourage your family to be an advocate as well. Because again, we need each other. People gonna think it's just us that's complaining, just like they thought black folks was just complaining. Until our Caucasian brothers and sisters hopped up in there and they was like, we gotta make a movement. I mean, that one when the movement came, but I'm saying that's when kind of people stopped bashing black folks for even creating the Black Lives Matter movement. They were so mad, talking about Blue Lives Matter. Nobody give a damn. Listen, ours ain't never mattered to begin with, so that's why now they matter. We trying to say they matter. So now I'm saying our abilities matter. Every ability matters. Make it so we can all roll up, walk up, slide up, wheel in. We trying to go into the building too. We want to go shopping. We want to get the things that we need. We want to go buy some pretty clothes and have, a little scooter to ride around in Ross for less or something like that. You know, they don't have none of that kind of stuff as if we don't buy clothes. We spend money. So if we can spend money, we should be able to shop. If you have handicapable parking, you should have handicapable access into the building. So let's try to make a way where we all get some accessibility because we need one another to make this a thing. Every person of every ability need to speak up because we all we got. People who are not of this stature or who don't know nobody of this stature, it usually won't mean nothing to them. But there are some with a heart. So those with a heart and those who know people who live in situations like this and they've seen what it does to them, I urge you and I encourage you to please, please, please click this link at the bottom of the screen rolling by you, or type it into your search engine and go ahead and sign that petition and share it with everybody. And I thank you. I ask you to please go and subscribe, share, like my channel, my page. And until next week, my honey loves, I love you. Never give in to giving up on yourself. Put your crown on. Put that lantern inside that crown. And you're going to turn that light up because it's going to radiate all over you and through you. Anything negative going to bounce back off you because ain't nobody got time for that. I love you. Love yourself more than anybody else in this world ever could. Never give in to giving up on you. Speak life into yourself. Keep going forward, because looking back gonna only make you fall down. Until next week, my honeys. Also, tune in. Will join us for support group this Friday and every Friday. And Strokes of Humor is coming this Friday. A stroke of humor. Let me get it together. A stroke of humor. Okay. But until next time, y'all, I'll holla back. Mwah. I love you. Bye bye.
We hit you with that strength in you. We hit you with that strength in you. You got your motivation, you got your inspiration, you got the fuel to feed, hey, every nation. You came through, we strengthen you. You came through, we strengthen you. You got the fuel to do what you do, hey.